But I got to ask you, right? Because here you are. We're back together. It's opening week of the Birds. And I'm so excited. Like, the one gift that the Eagles have, and I'm writing this in our football preview section, is the Eagles are just a contender every year. They're a story every year. And it wasn't always like this. Like, it's cool to be an Eagles fan forever. Like, when we were kids, it wasn't cool.
It's weird.
Right?
It's still weird to me that the Eagles have a top 3 run organization in football.
By far, yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how you
They're a gold standard. Like,
they finally made it, Andy.
they did. when I'll never forget, like, when they said, we want to be the gold standard. When Jeffrey Lurie said that,
right.
I mean, those words got thrown back in his face 1,000 times.
Yep.
Right? And he achieved it. I don't care, like, Super Bowls. They won one. Now they've been
went back
to
another. I mean, the reality was when he said it, he was just ahead of himself because he did actually one of the first modern front offices in football with Joe Banner coming in, and then you look what they've done since then. They were one of the first organizations to really embrace analytics and use it. You think Doug
and sports science
and sports science before that? You think Doug Peterson was the one that wanted to go for it on 4th down, or was that and give Doug credit? But that's an organizational thing.
No. Totally right. And their sports science, their training staff was always ahead.
Always
ahead. When Rick Burkhalter, who left and went with Andy, like Andy really, and Jeffrey will tell you this, he brought them.
He set the template to the organization.
He did. He showed them how to do it.
Yep. And now, it's weird. It's like they need to have a setback before they can come back out and have the big year. So they win the Super Bowl, and then the next year they make the playoffs, but the Wentz stuff's starting or whatever. And they went to the Super Bowl.
Dude, we were together. Like, how nuts was that, man? Oh my God.
We were in Chicago for the draft.
Yes.
If you listen closely, you can hear Jamie yelling after they draft Wentz.
I still can't believe he became a flop. The first game of the Super Bowl, after the Super Bowl, that first opener of the Super Bowl year, he threw 3 touchdown passes. He threw for 300 yards. It was like, oh my God, we got a quarterback.
Yeah, but he was amazing. Some of the throws that he was making that year, just the ability, the athletic ability, the to be able to make plays off schedule like he did, and then it kind of fell apart from there. And some of it's probably injury. His body started to break down, but I think there's a reason why he hasn't had success since he left there, and now he's with Andy, and Andy will probably coach him back to being a starter at some point.
I know.
If anybody can, it's going to be Andy. If anybody
can salvage him, it's him. No, you're right. But now with Jalen, what's your vibe going in with Jalen? Because this offense is the best offense on paper that we've ever saw in our lives. In our lives. Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, and, listen, you're going to miss Kelsey, but you still got the 2 best tackles, right? You're still coming in strong.
It's almost too much. The way you started this whole segment, look at the Eagles. What do you have to complain about with the Eagles?
Nothing.
Other than maybe the head coach, and we'll see about that. But what do you have to complain about?
Seriously.
You have 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers. Dallas Goedert's an above-average tight end. God forbid he can stay healthy for a season. Saquon, offensive line year after year that's considered one of the best offensive lines in football.
And you got Jahan Dotson, who I think is actually going to give you – he's so much better than Quez Watkins. He's fast, get behind, can stretch the field. He's going to get manned up with his safety.
Good luck. Yeah, they're going to get shots with him down the field.
He's going to make plays.
All right, well, to answer your question, I'm bullish on the Eagles this year, and I'm bullish on Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
To me, this feels like one of these response years.
Yes.
New offensive coordinator.
I completely agree.
New offensive coordinator that actually knows what's going on.
Yes.
Can call plays, is going to use his players to their strengths.
Totally right.
Motion.
Yeah.
Did they use any motion? They were dead last year in the NFL.
Couldn't pick up pressure. Like, the blitzes were a disaster. We talk about hot reads. One of the most basic pieces of football. Now, what's going to happen is they're going to pressure him all day long, right? And he's just got to respond to that. And they're preparing for it. Kellen Moore's prepping for it.
They know it's coming, yes.
Right? So I go, you should be able to, they'll be able to navigate that.
Jim Johnson's defense, and Ike used to talk about this, they always struggled against Peyton Manning and the Colts.
Yes.
Because they couldn't blitz. Because if you blitz Peyton Manning, you're done.
You're done.
Right. So, like, their strength, blitzing, creating chaos at the quarterback, you couldn't do against Peyton Manning. So, Jalen and the offense needs to be like, hey, listen, bring it. Because we have you solved.
Because you're so deep with weapons that you can't, I'm with you. Like, I want them. Go blitz. Because there's big plays waiting to be had. Yeah. And by the way, he's healthy and he can move. So, like,
hopefully he stays healthy.
Well, yeah. But I would keep him in the run game at times. I just think it's another dynamic you have to worry about.
Well, you have to pick and choose your spots. And he, for the most part, is smart at getting out of balance and things like that. Unfortunately, you can't protect yourselves at all times if you're out there running the ball, as we've seen. So the more frequency, the more carries he gets, the more of a chance he can get cheap shotted or anything can happen. I want him used wisely in the run game, but at the end of last year, they were almost like out of desperation using him in the run game because nothing else was working. They
didn't use him for the whole season leading up to that. And I think it hurt. Now you got Barkley, so let's go.